Today's video is going to be on American battery technology, ticker symbol ABML, American Battery Metals. Doing this video, I haven't done one in a while, but we've had some decent news, so let's get into it.
Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Something that happens by chance, I think not.
What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Wholesale. Hope of course you are all well. Today's video then, as I said, is on American battery technology. Haven't covered this in a while, but we have the 10Q that has came out, so I thought it was worthwhile having a look at this now. We'll get into that in a moment, but I just want to bring you to the positive side of things first. Let's have a look at this technology. Article that came out yesterday. American Battery Technology begins the second phase of its lithium-ion battery recycling plants. If we go onto Twitter firstly, then you can, over the last couple of weeks, we're getting decent news out there. You can see the guys have been out on site building up, and more importantly, we can see the construction here starting to really take shape, and I have them on Instagram as well, which is even more detailed. So I do advise anyone that's interested in American battery technology to add them on Instagram. You can definitely see there is good progress. We can see here that our drainage pipes are going in, our waste facilities all dug up, and you can see all down here digging. So plenty of progress is happening over the last couple of weeks. The utilities are all going in, foundations are all being laid as well. So it'll begin the second phase of the 30 million lithium-ion battery recycling later this month. The second phase will encompass an infrastructure and the shell of the pre-commercial battery recycling plants. So we're going to see the shell pretty much. This is going to be mostly steel. We know the prices of steel have went up considerably, so that is unfortunately a cost that we're seeing on not only ABML but on our other stocks. Aokeo blockchain, they're in the process of building their plants. So we will see the steel structure frame go up. That'll go on with a bit of cladding. The members will go on, and that'll just build the whole frame of it. And that is exciting. That'll really get watertight then before the winter process kicks in. Not that that matters too much in Nevada, but we're excited to see the acceleration. Ryan went on to say, this is a big 100,000 square foot floor space, huge big factory that they're trying to build here. And just to remind everyone that the plant, when it's fully scaled up, will go to 20,000 metric tons of feedstock annually. So that's completely recycled material, and we'll have over 50 employees. So it's a big operation, and this is really what we're in for. This is why we've identified ABTC as a potential great player in that space. We've had great progress recently. We've had Ryan come in. We've got rid of Doug Cole. Not a lot of people like Doug Cole, and that brings me to potentially, I don't want to bad name him, but this potentially brings me to today's news then, the 10Q. This isn't official on their websites or anything. You have to kind of go for a bit of a dig on this. So I'm not going to look into the big numbers too much. We can see that the assets is up considerably, nearly trebled up, which is, that is good. They own a lot more stuff now, which means that if anything was to happen, they have assets to be able to sell. So that is almost like having cash. But the liabilities and stuff's up. And look, I'm just going to scroll right down to the bottom just to get into what their actual excuses are, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. Talking about the liquidity and capital reserves, during the 3 months ending September 30th, 2021, the company incurred a net loss of $20 million and used cash of nearly $2.5 million for operating activities. The company has an accumulated deficit of $125 million. Now, when you read it like that there, you just go, Christ, run away from this stock. But you have to take it in context. It's a growth stock. We know about other companies that we have on the channel that are in a similar space. You have to spend money to make money. However, there is some red flags that I don't like that we've seen before and we're still seeing. September 27th, the company secured net proceeds of $37 million to construct and commission the pilot plant, fund operations, and increase research development activities. The company believes its recent capital raise and its current cash holdings will be sufficient to meet its future working capital needs. The company cannot give assurance that this increase in cash balances, a limited cash consumption, and maintain sufficient cash balances is in planned operations. The company may need to raise additional capital in the future. However, the company cannot assure that this will be able to raise additional capital on acceptable terms or at all. Subject to the foregoing, management believes that the company has sufficient capital and liquidity to fund its operations for at least 1 year from the date of assurance of the company financial statements. Again, they have to put things out like that because it is a risk. It's a risk, but it's a risk that we've known for about a year now since we've been invested in the stock. They have to raise money to grow. It's just as simple as that. We've just done the COP26 video yesterday. I'll share that link there. You can go in and check it out. This sector as a whole is going to thrive. There's a demand for it. But within that, I see the likes of ABML being a player in that, investment will come into it. So I don't think investment's going to be the issue, whether they do that through a dilution. That would be an issue, but we've seen that with Argo blockchain, for example, there was fears of dilution, and they went out and took out a favorable loan. I would imagine they could be in the same situation to do something like that. So I'm going to jump on the side of optimism and just say that that is what I can see potentially happening. Now, do I see more money being needed? I do, unfortunately. I know the way the construction industry is going, and the construction industry is not good. Inflation is ripe. Materials are up. So whatever maybe potential costings they have, whatever budgets they have, whatever scope that they have, I would be stunned that there isn't some sort of increase in material cost across the board. And we're seeing issues with workers and all of that. So I would definitely be preparing myself for a further capital raise over the next 6 to 12 months. If it's done through a loan, I'm okay with that. Dilution of the shares could potentially hurt us. So that's the big red flag I have, as much as I can take it as it's a long-term hold. If they get the pilot plant up and they produce the 20-odd thousands that they're talking about, this is going to go to the moon anyway. So all of this short-term activity doesn't really matter. But what pisses me off, the increase in operating costs was due to the fact the company had issued 9 million common shares with a fair value of 14 million during the current period, compared with 13.2 common shares for the services and a fair value of 1.5 million in fiscal 2020. Aokeo 2 million shares issuable to 2 board members of the company with a fair value of 3 million for the company 3 months. We've talked about this in other stocks. This seems to be kind of a common thing. They sort of, instead of paying off wages, they do shares, and it can kind of balance the books a bit better, make it look better. But I don't like that, personally speaking, and I don't like this level of dilution and stuff. It is what it is. We'll keep monitoring it. At the end of the day, we're waiting for the plant, and that is the long hold element of me. But there is red flags. You just need to know the risks with ABML. But what also you need to be aware of is the short interest. Now, if we look at this, the dark pool short volume is 42%. But what I will say, the positive side of things is, at the start of the month, it was only 31 and it had increased, but it has come down considerably by almost 10% sort of on the following day or two. So we'll see what way that goes in the next day, but it is a considerably high short interest. I'm not going to say no more about the financials. We'll wait for the proper report and information to come out. But if we just even look at the charts now, they wrap it up. They have seen a decent time. You know, we've seen highs of sort of 22%, even from the date of the 5th of November. Sort of the last 2 weeks, you're still up about 17% on ABML, so it isn't looking too bad. We don't know what's happening in the pre-market, but yesterday it had a red day. That's probably the insiders kind of knowing this article was coming out. We do have our earnings day coming up here on the 1st of December, supposedly, so we'll just keep an eye on it and see what the official statement is. That's why I don't want to do too much of a deep dive into this. If I was swinging it, to be fair, buy symbols came in, and we're still on the 9-day moving average. This here doesn't look good, and if we have a red day today, it's probably going to go into bearish territory. The MACD does look reasonably good, decent bit of volume, but the RSI is sort of downward spiral, and if we look at our 180-day moving average, it's going downward. So look, it's not the greatest swing trade opportunity. If I was looking to be buying this stock, maybe as a potential top up, it's a long hold, which I will be. I'll be waiting for the earnings and just let the next couple of weeks settle. It's such a long hold that it doesn't matter if, you know, there will be opportunities to buy this. I've always said it, I'd be very, very surprised if we fell below this support level of about $1. I think that is maybe worst case scenario. We'll just have to watch this one carefully, but that's the video. If you are interested in joining the stock journey, there's links down there for free trade, free shares up to £200. There is a big sell-off in cryptocurrency right now. Get your Coinbase link and get some free crypto. It's down there. You can also support the channel by buying me a coffee if you wish. But if you have no money and you just want to, you know, support me, please hit like, subscribe. That helps the YouTube algorithm and helps me grow the channel. I appreciate everybody. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah.